Okay. Then I'm inviting to the stage our first participant, Gaia Aganesian. For unforgettable host, Gaia Aganesian.
Fellow Toastmasters, dear members and guests, how was your summer?
Great.
Fantastic.
My summer was really unforgettable, and there are 4 reasons why it was so cool. The first reason, the hottest one. So great, and we met in Spain and it was just a perfect match. The second one, handsome, luxury, great. The third one, also luxury, with the difficulties and not so big, but okay. The fourth one, it was very difficult, very strange. So I hope that you understood that I am talking about 4 unforgettable hotels that I used to visit during the summer. Okay, let's start from the first one. Usually, we spend our summer holidays in Bulgaria. This time, I said to my father, like, no, never again, please don't do it. But he said, no, we are going to Bulgaria. My friend was traveling in Europe and I joined her. Not sure that she wanted to see me there, but I joined her not to go to Bulgaria. Imagine August, hot weather, I am in Spain, entered my hotel, came to the reception, and the man at the reception said, welcome to the hotel, I hope you'll enjoy our stay. Our hotel is very unique because there are no room numbers. All rooms have its own country names, and you are going to live in Bulgaria. I was like, Bulgaria? Like, there are about 200 countries in the world, but you say that I am going to live in Bulgaria? Like, did my father call you? I said, no. What happened? Do you know where is Bulgaria? Yes, I know where is Bulgaria. I have been there about 10 times. I said, so you're happy? No. I told him my story, and his reaction was, haha, it's your karma. Okay, my holidays as usually started in Bulgaria, Spanish Bulgaria. Next stop was in Porto. Porto is a small city in Portugal. Me and my friend decided that it's not so expensive, it's not so big, so we can live right in the center. But we didn't expect that we will live right in the center of the main square, like this. So you didn't need to go out to the city to see Porto, because Porto was coming every day to see us. So what could we decide? That the perfect fit for this room is like this. Royal lifestyle. The next was the capital, Lisbon. We entered our room and we saw this table. Our royal lifestyle continued. Okay, it's story about European hotels. But also, a few weeks ago, I visited my mother country, in Yerevan. Usually hotels there are very good, and it was a working trip. So I was with my boss. However, this time we weren't so lucky, because room was okay, but there was no table. Me and my boss were near the reception explaining that, sorry, we're university teachers, we need a table. They were surprised, but they said, okay, in 24 hours you'll have a table. Do you think we could work next day? No, there was no internet. Again, me and my boss very angry near the reception. We said, we need to work. She said, yes, you have a table, you can work. No, sorry, we need both table and the internet to work. So you have to wait. Okay, I had to wait and I went running. After 1 hour of intensive run, I entered my room and there was no hot water. What could I think? Why do they hate me so much? I told my boss about the situation and she said, don't say them about it because tomorrow we won't find our beds in our rooms. Do you know Maslow pyramid? In my situation it looked like this. So no, we didn't say anything, so beds were on the place. Yes, but there was one very big advantage of this hotel. When you book the room in the hotel, they promise you a very beautiful view on Ararat. My view was very beautiful. Here is a mountain Ararat, so really magic. But my neighbor wasn't so lucky. He could see only this. To sum up, I'd like to share a few tips which I have learned from my hotel experience. The first one, never say never, because karma is, I can't use bad words. The second one, royal lifestyle can be so funny. And the third tip, believe me, sometimes it's much better to shut up right at the beginning. Thank you.
And now please, 1 minute for judges. One minute is over. I'm inviting to the stage our next speaker, Diana Alzubi. How to get through passport control? How to get through passport control? Diana Alzubi.
I love to travel, but every time I travel, I face the same obstacle. The passport control. Seriously, I think these guys, they have 2 jobs. The cover job, which is putting the stamps, scanning the passport, and the real job, to make sure that no happy person passes through it. And you know, passport control officers can be bad in other countries. But trust me, nothing, and I tell you nothing, beats the Russians. Because you know how in America, in the US, they don't even have the borders when you exit. They just let you go. Their attitude is, you want to leave our country? Fine, get out. We're not gonna hold you here any longer. Just go. But here in Russia, even if you're a Russian citizen, you've got to go through the passport control on the exit. So here my story goes. I was traveling to Turkey, coming through the passport control. Good afternoon, I'm traveling to Turkey. The purpose of your trip? Tourism. It looked as if I insulted her. She grabbed the phone behind her back and started calling somebody and whispering something. After a moment, I feel how somebody grabs my shoulder. I see a guy who looked like, well, imagine a shaved gorilla. Now, imagine that gorilla wearing a uniform with a passport control. Hold that image for a sec. Yeah, that's exactly what I saw. Follow me. Shit. So I did. He brought me to a room. 2 chairs and a table and a big camera pointing at me. Just gonna go check some records. And he left. 1 hour before the flight departure. 55 minutes. 50 minutes. I couldn't resist but grab my bag and get my phone out to text somebody about the situation. But here I heard a voice I never heard before. It was a wise voice, the one that watched so many movies. You really want to get your phone out and show them how you're contacting the other gangsters? That's really gonna work. Just remember, they are watching you. Okay, you have a point, thank you. 45 minutes. 40 minutes, that's when the gates open. Then again, I couldn't resist but get out of the room and start looking for the guy. Because maybe he just forgot about me or something, or about my plane. But then again, the voice. Planning Shawshank Redemption, are we? That's exactly what they want you to do, to see you run away. Remember, they are watching you. So I said, okay, you have a point again. 35 minutes before the departure! And here, alas, he comes back. So, where's your husband from? Excuse me, the guy spent half an hour checking my records. He doesn't know that I'm unmarried? I'm unmarried, sir. Why not? Well, I kind of think it's too early. Well, you should consider it. What you did in France? Tourism? How interesting. Spain? Tourism? Very interesting. UAE? Tourism? That is interesting. Canada. Did you go there for tourism too? I didn't go to Canada. Why didn't you go there for tourism? I didn't go there for any purpose, but thanks, I will consider it as my next holiday destination. You've got a US visa for 3 years. Normally people only get for 2. I'm sorry. I don't know, that's the visa they gave me. And imagine the situation, even if I knew normally they give for 2 years instead of 3. Well, I'll come back to the embassy. Hey guys, sorry. You know, you gave me this visa for 3 years. Would you mind changing it for two, like normal people, you know? Because that's not what I wanted. I'm really sorry to bother you. Please. Thank you. And here comes his main question, or one of the main questions. Which side do you support in the Syrian conflict? I don't even know what size they are. Well, you should. I don't, sorry. And what's your opinion about terrorism? About what? At that moment, I forgot all the words I could have said about terrorism, and the only one came to me. It's bad. It's bad, huh? Yeah, it's very, very bad. I felt myself like a 5-year-old girl. Yet, that worked. He started laughing at me because I guess this was the most elaborate description about terrorism he has ever heard. So he just let me go. Oh, yeah. So, my tip for you guys when you cross the Russian border, relax. You'll be fine as long as you're not a terrorist. And always remember that in our country, they really love you and care about you. Because why else wouldn't they want you to go? Not like in other countries. Thank you, dear contest chair.
1 minute for judges.
Thank you.
I'm inviting to the stage our next speaker, Ivan Shilyaev.
Thank you very much.
The right guy to hold the wheel, a right guy to hold the wheel, Ivan Shilyaev.
Thank you very much. Let me be the right guy who is setting the presentation. Well, it's time to rock this party. Yeah, how you doing, guys? How you doing?
Great.
How was your morning today, huh?
Slow.
Slow? Oh, don't tell me. I know how was your morning. You were sleeping so well after a hard evening and hard night, and suddenly you heard that sound, you know, and you're like, oh man, no, this life sucks. I have to go to my job again. No, man. And in the same very second, a little voice in your head started talking with you, and it said, hey, psst. Oh, that's fine. Don't go. You're a kind guy. You had a really hard evening last, a hard day. So you can sleep 5 minutes more. What can possibly go wrong if you sleep 5 minutes more? Or maybe 10. So please sleep. And you were like, yeah, man, that's true. And the voice continuing, so just relax. 10 minutes. This won't change nothing. And you're like, yeah, bro, thanks. And you just fell asleep. And 40 seconds later, you're like, no, not again. And you're rushing, putting your pants on, then you're brushing your teeth and trying to eat something, cook something. You forget the keys, you miss the bus, then you finally reach the metro train, and there You're just sitting, you're nervous, you're checking your watch permanently, and then you step to someone's foot, and this can bring you into trouble. I'll be back in a second to this moment. So, and all that happened because of that voice in your head, right? You listen to that voice, and that was not really good. Me personally, I have a lot of voices in my head, and I'm not crazy, frankly speaking. And the only thing that every personality that I have in my head have its opposite side. But we're not alone about that. You probably know this guy. No? Does anyone know him? Yeah! This is William Stanley Milligan. You probably know him if you saw this movie. He got famous in late 70s because he raped 3 people and he avoided going into jail. But the remarkable thing about him is that he was diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. And it means that in his head lived 24 people. Imagine a tiny car, like this big, and 24 people inside of it, right? So that's kind of tight volume. So you can imagine yourself in that car, holding that small wheel and on the tiny chair, and someone's butt just pressing your face like this, and at the same time they are trying to steal your wheel and take the control over you and go rape someone. That's not good at all. So this guy was struggling. My point here is that we all have such personalities in our head. In my case, again, there are 2 sides of the coin: the good one and the bad one. For example, when I'm in metro station, Monday morning, 8 a.m., I'm just thinking about some beautiful things. I'm trying to get in the mood to start the week in a proper way, and I'm just thinking about good things. When suddenly, someone, it can be you or you, who missed the alarm, steps on my foot, right? That's not good at all, because at that moment, this guy pops up, and I'm like, I want to kill that guy, to just rape him, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. Just to, I'm enraged, you know. I'm just getting mad when someone steps on my foot. And when I'm on this peak state, the opposite side of this guy pops up. Get on the stage. And guess who? Right, it's the granny, it's the babushka inside of me. So she is representing all the good stuff that I have, you know, all this kindness, all this wiseness that I have. And in my imagination, she's like this, and she's walking like this, you know, and she's getting into the stage, and she's, you know, fighting back, and she said, "Oh, how dare you, speaking and thinking such bad things about this man? He didn't intend it to hurt you. He just stepped on your foot because he had a hard evening last time." And at this moment, I understand that each of them has a point. Actually, I can break his neck, or I can leave him alone. And I decide that the granny is kind of cool. I want to be a good man, and I make her a winner. So I decide who is winner. Or the next situation. In life, I think the time is the most precious thing that we have. And I don't want to give it away. But a lot of things or situations requires it. So I give me that, go there, ask me this, just make that thing for me, and so on. I don't want to do it. And when I feel that feeling that I don't want to give something, this guy pops up, and he's like, "No, master, no, don't give your time. Don't give. You need your time because you want to read some books, go to some training. No, my precious should stay with me. Don't go on the time." And again, the opposite side of this guy pops up, and of course it's Robin Hood. He represents all the gratitude and all the bravery that I have, and the giver, you know, the guy who gives more than receives. And again, in my imagination, he's a French guy. I don't know why, I cannot explain that, but he's a French guy, and he's like, oh monsieur, how do you dare speaking and not giving your time to your friends? That's not good, so you should give more. And I think, man, this guy have a point. And I make him a winner. Yay, the winner! So, you know, remember this famous story about 2 wolves who are living inside of us, and the one is the winner is the one you feed most, right? I think that's bullshit because besides two wolves inside of us, we also have the grumpy cat and all these crazy guys who it was a torture for me to call them and to place them here. But the point here, a lot of personalities lives in our heads, and you should wisely choose the one who you will feed because you will become alike. So choose wisely. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
1 minute for judges.